And you are live.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everybody. We'll call to order the regularly scheduled virtual meeting of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board on Wednesday, April 6, 2022. It is just about 7 p.m. We have all board members present, including Dick Peterson, Kia Baskerville, Elizabeth Conger, and I would like to officially welcome Chris Ledoux, who is our new board member with us tonight. And my name is Jimmy Fraley. Also present tonight, we have City Attorney Mike Wiles and Deputy City Clerk Cynthia Gaines. Has the board had the chance to review the minutes of our last hearing, March 2nd, 2022? If so, any additions or corrections or modifications?
I move they be accepted.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the minutes will stand as approved. Before we get into our regularly scheduled business, I will state for the record that since this is a virtual hearing, anybody wishing to submit public testimony may do so by way of written testimony, which will be submitted as part of the official record. Anybody who wishes to submit written testimony may do so by going to the website www.annapolis.gov/ABC. The first item on our agenda is the substitution or deletion of a licensee for Sakura Cafe Inc., trading as Rock and Roll Cajun Sushi Bar located 105 Main Street, Annapolis, Maryland 21401. There's a request for the substitution of licensee Jay Wu, replacing Jay Wu with Jun Su Sir. Who do we have here for Sakura Cafe?
They should be in a second.
Okay,
I
no
only
problem.
have one name.
Hey, how are you tonight?
Good. And you?
Good. Can you just give us your name and address for the record, please?
My name Jun Xu. Address. You mean for the business, right?
Whatever. The business is 105 Main Street. What's your home address?
A12 Tyler Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland 21403.
All right. This is your opportunity to present before the board. Can you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you're seeking tonight?
I'm sorry. Can you say again? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What I'm saying is this is your chance to present your case to the board. Why don't you tell the board what you're looking for tonight with your substitution request?
I just want to put my name on the license, and Jay Wu could be under my name, or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. What's your involvement with this business?
What's involved?
Yeah. Hold on one second, sir. Cindy, go ahead.
Sir, he is currently already on the license. What he really needs to do tonight is just to remove Jade from the license, and he himself will become the qualifying applicant.
Okay, he's already on the license, so it's just a removal of a licensee.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Okay. Disregard those questions, sir. Sorry to ask you about that. I didn't realize you were already a licensee. It's really kind of a formality here. Does the board have any questions of the licensee tonight?
No, I move this be allowed. I know that Jade has wanted to get off the license for a while, so.
Okay, so we have a motion for approval of the removal. Do we have a second? I think I heard Claire.
At second, yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Your request is granted. Thanks so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, the next item is a request for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property at the Stanton Center with music to a Gerald Diggs for a 75th birthday party scheduled on Saturday, April 30th, 2022 from 8 p.m. to 12 midnight, 92 West Washington Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. And I see Mr. Diggs' name. Mr. Diggs, can you turn your video and audio on? I saw him practicing earlier, so I know he can do it. There we go.
How you doing?
Good,
There
good.
you
How are
are.
you this evening?
I'm just fine, sir. Fine.
Good. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this party and what you're planning?
Oh, this is my my aunt. It's her 75th birthday, and I work at the Stanton Center. I've been there for 22 years, so I was, having a surprise. Not a surprise, but a birthday party for her 75th birthday.
Okay, you gonna have some security there?
Yes, sir.
Who are you using for security?
We have in-house security. Larry Beavers and me myself.
Okay. Anybody under the age of 21 coming to this party?
Oh no, sir. No, sir.
Does the board have any questions? Chris?
Yeah, Mr. Diggs, I'm happy to, view your application favorably. I just thought 8 p.m. was a little late to start. You start showing up and some of the folks start showing up early to set up. You're comfortable with 8 p.m.? You don't want a little earlier than that?
Oh no, because I'll be setting up myself.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Okay. I mean, if you want, if it's okay, I can come in early. Set
No,
up.
no. I just, I don't know. As I get older, I don't stay up as late as you do. But that's good. All right. Good enough. It's your application.
Okay.
Any additional questions for Mr. Diggs? All right, do I hear a motion regarding this request?
Motion to approve. A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, have fun at the party.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy.
Thank you all.
Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, I am going to combine all of the Dinner Under the Stars applications tonight. It's going to take me to read these all in. But we have several requests for to extend sidewalk cafes for Under the Stars. These are extensions of sidewalk cafes for service of food and the consumption of alcoholic beverages with live music for Stan and Joe's Saloon, Luna Blue, 49 West Coffee House, Tsunami, and Ram's Head Tavern. These events are scheduled for May 25th, 28th, June 1st, 4th, 8th, 11th, 15th, 18th, 22nd, 25th, 29th, July 2nd, 6th, 9th, 13th, 16th, 20th, 23rd, 27th, 30th, August 3rd, 6th, 10th, 13th, 17th, 20th, 24th, 27th, 31st, September 3rd, 7th, 10th, 14th, 17th, 21st, 24th, 2022, all events from 3 to 11 p.m. The addresses being 37 West Street, 36 West Street, 49 West Street, 51 West Street, 33 West Street, all in Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. These events are being sponsored by the Inner West Street Association. And I see a lot of familiar faces here tonight. If we can get everybody's name and address and the establishment that they're here for. Jody, we'll start with you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jody Danik. My address is 2981 Friends Road in Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. And I am here representing Tsunami as well as the president of Inner West Street, just as a general representative for both Dining on the Stars and Inner West Street Association First Sundays. We do have Audrey Lee here, who is our new cruise director, so to speak. And she's going to sit in and learn the process so that she can walk us through it next year. But any questions the board might have, I feel free to ask me. And I think Stan and Joe's is on the call. If not, I can sit in for them too.
Yeah, I see Joe. Joe, why don't you give us the name and your name and address for the record?
For the record, I am Joe McGovern, 817 Valley Drive in Crownsville, Maryland. I'm representing Stan and Joe's at 37 West. And if Audrey's going to be the cruise director, I want to be Isaac. I'm showing my age by saying that.
I got it. Aaron, if you could give us your name and address too.
Hey, Erin Dryden, Luna Blue. My address is 904 Bank Street, Annapolis, 21403.
Okay, and who else do we have here? I see. Sarah, can you give us your name and address too?
Yes, hi, Sarah Callahan. I'm representing 49 West Coffee House. My address is 1130 Tyler Avenue, 21403.
Okay, and then did anybody come from Ram's Head? I think that's the only other establishment.
I don't have anyone in the attendee list from Ram's Head.
Okay.
So I can sit in for Ram's Head.
Okay.
We me sit in for everybody. I'm glad most of the restaurants made it to the meeting today.
Okay, all right, great. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the dinner under the stars this year?
So for 2022, we're super excited to kick off Dinner Under the Stars on May 25th. We're going to do it the same way we did last year, which is just Wednesdays and Saturdays, where we close the street. The restaurants put tables and chairs out into the middle of the street, and we try to have a little bit of fun and celebrate Annapolis in the first block of West Street. There will be some light music as usual, but mostly each one of the restaurants it's just an extension of their sidewalk cafe, and each one is solely sort of responsible for their own space.
Any changes at all in any of the setups from previous years?
No, there's no changes. The only thing that we are hoping for is that El Toro Bravo is not part of the setup this year, and there's a new restaurant that's going to go in there, and we're hoping that they get open in time to participate in some of the events.
Okay. All right, does anybody have anything else they want to add about these events? Any of the other establishments? All right, any questions from any board members? Nope. All right, if not, do I hear a motion for approval for all these events?
I move.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the request is approved. Don't go anywhere because we have you all, I think, for the first Sunday Arts Fest, which is next. Give me a minute to read all of these dates into the record. We have a request to extend sidewalk cafe and seating for the service of food and the consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property with live music to the same establishment, Stan and Joe's Saloon, Luna Blue, 49 West Coffee House, Tsunami, and Ram's Head Tavern for the first Sunday Arts Festivals, which are scheduled for May 1st, June 5th, July 3rd, August 7th, September 4th, October 2nd, November 6th, and December 4th, 2022, from noon to 5 p.m. Specific locations are 37 West Street, 36 West Street, 49 West Street, 51 West Street, 33 West Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. Again, sponsored by the Inner West Street Association. Jody, do you want to handle this one too?
Yes, yeah. So it's the same as we've been doing for the last 15 years plus years. It's the first Sunday of every month. The setup we have from 12 to 5 that were closed. I think the actual setup is earlier though. So I don't know if that needs to be changed. I'm just noticing that on the agenda. They generally set up. I guess the street's already closed the night before. So vendors generally set up at 8 or 9 a.m., start getting their stuff going, and then starts at around 12 o'clock.
Okay, and the service aspect though, sorry to interrupt, but the service aspect, is that going to be from 12 to 5?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So that's 12 to 5. Okay, now I get it. So fantastic. The only thing I would request is we don't have a rain date in here for the December 4th, which is our Chocolate Binge Festival. And I'm wondering if we should put that in as December 11th right now, just in case, so that we don't have to come back to the board. Is that something that we should do, or how do you feel about that?
Cindy?
It would require additional payment, and it wasn't originally applied for, so I'm not sure. Ms. Lyles?
Yeah, I think that would have to be a separate application.
Even as a rain date?
Yeah, particularly, see, what happens is we publish this to the public, this agenda, and what the board is going to consider. The board is going to consider another date. Someone else may be interested in the date, and so that's a reason for the publicity. I think in fairness to the public, we'd have to put that on an agenda, and that would have to be considered separately.
Okay, great. Well, the good news is we have 8 months to get it together, so we can do that. Mm-hmm. But generally, it's we're looking forward to a great season. As you know, the last couple seasons have been disrupted, and we've had to scale back pretty substantially. This year, we're hoping that as it gets towards the summertime, we sort of get back to normal, and people, there is a lot of pent up demand for this, so we're excited about it.
All right, and it's the exact same setup you guys have done previously prior to the COVID era?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. All right, any questions from any board members? Chris?
Oh, Chris had one.
No, I defer to you, Dick. You've got seniority.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. So Jody, I view these applications favorable. So this is more a question just to learn lessons from you. We are witnessing a lot of pent up demand, like you said, across all the events throughout the city. And I noticed, I think it was the first Sunday, or I think there was something down on West Street, and the crowds were even, they were over the top almost. Is that presenting more challenges to you in terms of extending the sidewalk cafe operations? Because it doesn't seem like there's a head count, so to speak, at either ends of the street, and just curious. I'm not reflective on the application, but just in terms of lessons learned, is it presenting greater challenges to you?
With dining under the stars, it doesn't seem to be an issue because it is spread out over 2 days now through the week. And there's also a lot of activities for other people to do, downtown, for instance, or in esports. So that seems to be spread out pretty well. The first Sundays, May 1st and June 3rd, I guess it is, or 4th, those might be kind of big because we haven't had them for a while, and we do have extra security on just to be sure, but I would say nothing that we can't handle necessarily, and we'll definitely look at it. They're free events to the public, so if it a lot of it is weather driven too, and in May, and Annapolis tends to be beautiful, so if we have great 75-degree weather, I think there might be a lot of families out there, and we'll have to make sure that everybody's on their toes and that the security's on their toes. But we haven't, we've been doing it now for so long, unless it's I think a couple years back, maybe for one of the chocolate festivals, it was a little overwhelming, and we really had to scale that back. That's a ticketed event, and so we were able to limit the amount of tickets sold the next year, and so that helped a lot. And now we're hoping to raise the attendance again because we limited it too much. So it's a fine line, and a lot of it, I tell you, it really is weather driven. If we have a great weekend and the weather's nice, everywhere, downtown and the first block of West Street and our festivals and West Annapolis, everywhere is busy because of that pent up demand.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kia. Oh, Kia, you're muted.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought I was. All right. My question for you, Jody, is are you pretty much in charge of the sort of the blocks of, 51 West Street down to 31 or whatever it is. And I'll tell you why I'm asking this is that in the request, I see some establishments have put in for the December 4th date and some have not. Is that, I mean, I could be dense here, but is that just kind of an oversight? Is everyone requesting the rain date or not?
So December 4th, thanks, Kia. I appreciate the question. December 4th is the actual date. And I think everybody is on December 4th. They should be, because that's, it looks like everybody's on for December 4th. What I was trying to do was add a December 11th right now, just in case the December 4th is our Chocolate Binge Festival is rained out or snowed out. And so I thought, geez, we should have put that rain date on. We didn't, maybe we could, but I understand the city attorney wants us to do another application for that.
Okay, so, all right, so technically the rain date would be December 11th. Am I hearing that right? Okay.
Yeah, that's what we would do for the, yes.
Okay.
But I have to put, we'll put in a separate application for that, just in case, we don't know. But that's a big, Inner West Street is fully self-supporting from these events and from basically these events. And, our goal has always been to, economic development through the arts and try to bring people into the first block and the second block of the Inner West Street corridor. The Chocolate Binge Festival has been a big fundraiser for us. So yeah. We would hate to lose that. And so we'll definitely add that December 11th, just in case. All of the other first Sundays don't really need rain dates, because if we lose them, we go to the next first Sunday. But that one is in particular is an important first Sunday for the Inner West.
Yeah, I appreciate the clarification. Thank you. I mean, you guys have always done an outstanding job in the past, so I'm not really worried. I was a little confused, but thank you, Jody.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and like I said, we have made a few changes. Evans Management is no longer representing Inner West Street Association. Now we have Audrey Lee, who runs the Gallery 57 right on West Street. So she's a intimate part of West Street and our community, and she wanted to step up and help us out, and she'll be running a lot of these different social events for the Inner West Street Association.
Thank you, Audrey.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Jody. Any additional questions from members of the board? All right, hearing none, do I hear a motion regarding all these requests?
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, your requests are granted. Thanks, guys.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for your time. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Aaron.
guys.
Thank you.
Take
Thanks.
care. Okay, next up, we have another request for an application for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property to the Maryland Cultural Conference Center for a wine and spirits tasting scheduled on April 29th, 30th, and May 1st, 2022, from noon to 6:30 p.m. located in Susan Campbell Park on Dock Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. And I see Ms. Jones is here. Ms. Jones, can you get your video and audio working?
I cannot get my video to work. Is it working?
No, not right now. There should be a little camera in the bottom
It
left.
says the host has there. Okay.
There we are.
All right. Hello.
Hi,
Sorry.
how are you? Why don't you tell us a little bit about this event and what you're seeking?
Well, it's actually a wine and spirit tasting during the Annapolis Spring Sailboat Show, which we have done every year, except of course we didn't have shows the last 2 years. So we're excited to be back, and it's a fundraiser for the Maryland Cultural Arts Center. We have it's just tastings, no selling. We have a fenced off area with a ID checker. No one under 21 is allowed in. And it's, and the bartenders are brought through Breakthrough Beverage Company. So they have I can't remember what it's called, the training.
Alcohol awareness training, tips or
Yes,
cans.
yes, yes. Yes. So that's it. We're just excited to be back.
How many years have you guys done this previously?
The Spring Sailboat Show,
Yeah,
I want to say 10.
10 years. Okay.
Well, it would be 10, might be
Right.
12 if we had them the last 2 years. Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had any issues in the past?
No, no, no. We have security. We've just never, it's not even, we'd actually like to have a larger crowd. The area is never overcrowded. It's a 20 by 20 tent with about 30 feet around it that's fenced in. Not a big area.
And you've got security making sure that only people over the age of 21 are able to go into the fenced area.
Correct. And they can't walk out of that area with an open container with a cup or anything.
Okay, great. Does the board have any questions of Ms. Jones? Chris, go ahead.
You're muted.
I know, I've got so many windows and screens open. Yeah, just be patient with the new guy, please. I saw in the application you're using a third-party vendor. Is it the same vendor you've used in the past years?
You mean Breakthrough or our charity? Breakthrough? Oh,
Yeah.
yes. We've always used Breakthrough in the fall shows. We used a small company called Doc a little bit in the spring show, but Breakthrough has been with us for, oh my goodness, 20 years.
Okay, great. That's what I wanted to ask. And then not to put the city attorney on the spot, only because I haven't had enough time to do my own due diligence, but Mr. City Attorney, is this is consistent with what the agreement between the city and the spring boat show? There's nothing inconsistent in the agreements as you understand it, the lease of the boat show and city dock in this. Okay, I didn't want to assume, but I assumed if there was, you would have raised it. So thank you.
All right, thanks, Chris. Any additional questions for Ms. Jones? All right, well, do I hear a motion regarding this request?
Motion to approve, and I wish you luck.
Oh, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, your request is approved, Ms. Jones. Thanks so much. Have fun.
Thank you. Stop by the show.
All right. Next on our agenda, we have a request to allow an additional extension on the issuance of an alcoholic beverage license for Social Taco LLC, trading as Vita Taco and State House Inn, located at 200 Main Street and 25 State Circle, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. The latest extension was approved by us and it ends on April 1, 2022. And who's here on behalf of the applicants?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Stephen Hyatt and Weber, on behalf of the applicant, 200 Westgate Circle, Suite 500, Annapolis, 21401.
Mr. Hyatt, good to see you. How's everything?
Everything is going pretty well.
Good, good. Why don't you introduce Mr. Miller and Mr. Fox for us, if you don't mind, and
Sure.
maybe they could get their addresses on the record too.
Sure. Andrew Fox, go ahead, state your name and address, please.
Andrew Fox, 550 Rockwood Court, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401.
And Mr. Miller? You're muted. You're muted, John.
Sorry about that. John Miller, 706 Capri Road, Arnold, Maryland, 21012.
All right, thank you. Mr. Hyatt, go ahead and tell us what's the latest and greatest with this one.
Sure. So, all the work's nearly complete, but I guess I have a question, maybe point of interest, not exactly sure how to frame it, but I was just checking on the license list, and we previously when this whole process started several years ago, before the pandemic, applied to, among other things, upgrade the license from the B2 AB to B4 AB. And I see that the license is active on the website, and that license is for the existing premises, Vita Taco. So I'm not sure if we need an extension, but if we do need an extension, we respectfully request one, and it would be for it's the remainder, the additional seating and stools that were approved in the original application request. Does that make sense?
I'll let Cindy address that.
Currently, the active license list pertains only to the Vita Taco portion. The State House Inn portion, although it was approved, the license has not been effectuated. It would be actual license change, an upgrade in the license. So if someone wants to contact our office and find out what documents are necessary to complete that, and you have the UNO to open the new half, we'll upgrade the license type fully to, I think it's a B4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Okay. Well, in that case, then, we're here before you tonight, and I'll let Andrew give you the details of, the past delays, but we need an additional, 6 months with the goal of completing much sooner than that. We've had several delays. I'm not sure if you've seen this letter, but there was a change order that came from the fire marshal, and that came after the previous sprinkler system had been installed and drywalled and covered. That all had to be torn out, resized, and that is now completed. Drywall's back in and it's mudded. All the vendor work is pretty much complete, but there are additional delays that are really outside of the applicant's control, and I'll let Andrew give you those details.
So, hi, everybody. Yeah, so we've made more progress in the last month than we've made in the last 10 and a half months. We couldn't really get anything for quite a long time. And now that the massive change order was done, we kind of got the okay to close everything back in and get going. So all of our rooms are done, and we're just currently working on the first floor expansion. The first floor expansion is a 30-seat expansion, and the outside had an existing 28-seat license that should technically still be in effect. And then we had requested with our upgrade another 12 seats. So we're just operating as Vita Taco Bar right now because we're not going to open. We can't open upstairs, obviously, until UNOs get in effect, but we don't want to open the hotel partially and not have the ability to open the first floor of the hotel. So we kind of got really ahead of ourselves with the rooms, but then we got really delayed with the restaurant portion with, supply and demand. We still haven't received our bar stools we ordered 21 weeks ago. So, and we haven't ordered our third room floor furniture that we ordered like 19 weeks ago. So a lot of it's just kind of sitting around and waiting and hoping. But like I said, we made a ton of progress. Really happy with the progress. It kind of stinks that we're not ready the second the weather gets warm for what we have planned. But, this project, it's worth it to us. So we don't really care when we open, but we'd rather be open than not be open. So.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions of Mr. Hyatt or Mr. Fox or Mr. Miller? Chris?
Chair, I have a question for you and the city attorney on process, not for the applicant. So I'll hold that, but.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Is it something that you want to talk about in an off the record session regarding process, or is it something that needs to be?
No, I might as well raise it because Mr. Hyatt might have an opinion too. Mr. Hyatt, I'm new to the board, so I'm learning as well. I'm looking at Rule 2.9 of the board's rules and regulations in terms of extensions. And whether this is for you, Mr. Chair, or for the city attorney, I was curious if we consider an application for an expansion an application for a new license, or do we consider an application for an expansion something different than an application for a new license? I'm trying to find the authority in the rules and regulations. Again, I'm new and they're very thick, but I read them this afternoon. I was looking for the authority for the extensions. Mr. Hyatt, if you know that as well, I'd welcome that as well.
I'll defer to the chairman or the city attorney first, but I can pull the rules up real quick.
Yeah, I don't have the rules in front of me. I don't know if Mr. Lyles has them in front of him.
Yeah, I have them. What rule were you referring to, Mr. Ledoux?
2.9, effective date of license, and it talks about when operations don't commence, the board can grant up to 2 extensions, but I wasn't clear because the rule talks about applications for new license. And this isn't, I just don't know how the board interprets applications for expansions because they already have an existing license. So.
Yeah, the expansion would be a new license because they have to pay the fee and apply for that. So that's a new license.
I see.
Because of the pandemic and the emergency, I offered an opinion about whether or not the board could vary from these rules. Since there was an emergency order from the city and the governor's state of emergency, which pretty much obviated all of the rules regarding liquor licenses, subject to the hearings and appearance before the liquor board. And still, we're having the effects of the emergency still in play. I think the board has some latitude in this regard in granting an extension, but we must always have in front of you information that presents that extenuating circumstance.
Great, thank you for that opinion, Mr. City Attorney. I of course defer to your judgment as the city attorney. Thank you.
Any additional questions of Mr. Hyatt or the licensees? All right, hearing none. Do I hear a motion regarding this additional 6-month request?
Mr. Chairman, I motion to approve it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the request is granted. Thanks, guys, for being here tonight.
Good luck,
Great,
gentlemen.
thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Close.
All right, and then the last item on tonight's agenda is a request for an open to the public event number 1 with outside beverage service on private property to the Eastport Yacht Club for the Spin Sheet Crew Party, scheduled on Sunday, May 1st, 2022, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., located 317 First Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403. And Dan, are you, I'm sorry, Claire, do you need to recuse yourself?
I do have to recuse myself as a member. Thank
Great.
you, guys.
Thanks. All right. Dan, can you just give us your name and address for the record, please?
Yeah, Dan McQuay, 57 Harbor Heights Drive, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401.
And what's your position with the Eastport Yacht Club?
I'm the general manager.
Okay, great. Thanks for being here tonight. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this open to the public event?
Sure. So the Spin Sheet magazine, which is a huge part of the sailing community, does what they call a crew party every year. Not the last 2 years for obvious reasons. And they put out an ad in their magazine for basically it's a way during the spring boat show for people to connect and to find crew for races and other sailing activities. So this is something that Eastport Yacht Club has hosted for several years, and it's a great way to give back to a free publication that helps the sport of sailing.
Okay, and you guys have done this event previously, right?
Yes, sir.
How many years have you had it? If you know off the top of your head.
I don't. It's been definitely more than 5 years.
Okay. To your knowledge, have there been any issues in the past with this event?
No, sir.
Okay, setup, I'm assuming, is the same as years past?
In general, there's some slight differences, but it's
Okay,
mostly going to be the same.
What are those differences?
I mean, just about how they want things planned within the space. But, you know, the party starts, it's a 2-hour party. Beverages are available for purchase. And it's just a big social party for 2 hours.
Okay. Any questions from any board members?
No, Dan, no alcohol leaves the property, right?
No, absolutely not.
And is this, hey, Dan, is this, just because I'm a novice about all of this, despite how long I've lived here, is this, do you guys also, is this part of like covering like Wednesday night races?
I'm not exactly sure. This is the first time that I personally have been part of this event. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things that I learned during it. But from what I understand, they just put it out for anybody who's interested in crewing or who needs crew for races. They can come to this party and kind of network and find people. So probably people who will be out on Wednesday night races. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I've just heard just out there. So that makes sense to me. Thank you.
Any additional questions, Dan? All right.
I move this be approved.
Do I hear a second?
Second. There's a second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Your request is granted. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good luck, Dan. You've inherited a lot.
All right. That's it. That concludes all of our business unless somebody else has something they want to discuss tonight. No?
Well, Chris, you've got to have some questions.
Well, I'm going to have a social, but I'm going to have to come in for an alcohol a license so that we can get together and mingle. No. I appreciate everybody's patience. Look, you know, my general view is, you know, these things look, you know, very favorable, just trying to learn the process and, you know, ask the right questions. Make sure, you know, especially if members of the public aren't showing up, you know, that usually is a tell for me that things are going pretty well. Aldermen aren't showing up, you know, things like that, but still want to just try to learn from them, you know, what challenges they're facing and what. So I appreciate everybody's patience on that. And
well, Chris,
yeah.
it's a little intimidating that, you know, you're a lawyer coming in on this, and Jimmy is already like, you know, and Mr. Lyle. So it's like, great. Oh, now we got 3 lawyers.
No.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I don't want to
yeah,
ask a dumb question is what I'm trying to say. Like,
I'm a recovering lawyer, but there's really only one lawyer here, and that's the city attorney.
Exactly right.
There you go. There
That's
you
right.
go.
Chris, we very seldom see an alderman at any of our meetings.
Okay,
So,
well, that's a good sign.
which brings up, the city council is going to start appearing in person, I think. Do we want to discuss us?
Well, let's adjourn and go off the record because we're still on the record right now. So I'll make a motion.
I would like
we
to discuss
adjourn.
that.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.